understand you are now involved in a direct action campaign because we're supposed to be out of here in 5 minutes, but our Nigerian speaker, who's traveled all over the world to get here, has just arrived. And, say hello to us while we have this demonstration. The meeting is over and they're going to throw us out, but you're going to talk to us while they're throwing us out. Okay? This is Alan Onima, and there are no words to describe him. Okay? Finn, okay, Foundation for Ethnic Harmony in Nigeria. So we gave you some of the background of what he's been doing, etc. So Alan, we told him about the training we did there, and he gave the chronology and that kind of thing. So what you might want to do is tell us what you're doing now.
Production of oil. What's happening with oil in Nigeria?
Yes, and what's your plan for the future? And as quickly as possible for you to do that, okay? And we're holding the meeting open just for you, okay? So we cannot let this meeting end without your sharing with us. So you come so far to get here, okay? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry for coming very late. As usual, your customs at every point of entry into your country will always delay people. I think I arrived here about 3 or 4 hours ago from London, and they kept me out there, asking me questions about militancy in the Niger Delta region, and I told them that, look, I deserve to be encouraged and not discouraged. And they wanted to know about all the militant leaders, inherit their names, what business do you have with these militant leaders? I told them I had no business with any militant leaders, other than the fact that we acted as an interventionist, medium to bring about social change in the Niger Delta using Dr. Bernard Lafayette Jr. They said, yes, they know him, they've seen him with me all over the place, but how about the militant leaders? So I don't know where they are. The one thing I can tell you is that they're no more into militancy because people like this intervene through the instrumentality of the Foundation for Ethnic Harmony in Nigeria. So it took 3.5 hours. I felt so discouraged, In fact, I just called my wife and said, this may be my last time in the United States. I'm tired of every now and then you pass through your borders, you get harassed. I don't really like it. I feel so sad. I've not even gotten into my room. I called Charles and he came over to see me. But however, when I see faces like this, I get encouraged. Faces of people who are ready to bring about social change. And that may be the only reason why I may have to change my stance. When I see beautiful people like this gather for the sake of peace, that gladdens my heart. Makes me feel good. About the Niger Delta and what we did in Nigeria, you need to know about that. It's a story that will encourage you also to contribute whatever you have to contribute to bring about social change wherever you find yourself. It's a story of impossibility being made possible. Years back, the Nigerian nation was not fair to the people of the Niger Delta, where the crude oil we all enjoy come from. The people complained, no one listened to them. They now decided to take up arms. The state thought they could stop them. Year after year, it was just very obvious that not even the Nigerian military, backed by Western powers, could stop them from doing what they knew how to do best: violence. Their activities crippled the oil industry in Nigeria. By 2004, Nigeria, that used to be the 6th largest producer of crude oil in the whole world, I think nosedived to about 15th. By 2004 and 2005, Nigeria was producing less than 600,000 barrels of crude oil. And you remember that crude oil is our mainstay. That's the mainstay of our economy. Schools were being shut down because no money. Staff salaries were not being paid. Hospitals were just mere consulting houses, no drugs, because of the activities of militants. So I gathered my staff and said, look, I think we can make a difference here. The military has tried to do something about this. They couldn't. The police tried. They couldn't stop them. In fact, they were getting their arms and ammunition from the West. Western businessmen were supporting them. They were giving them arms in exchange for our crude oil. So it was an organized crime, and a lot of people subscribed to it. It became very impossible for the state apparatus, the state machinery, to bring down the violence in the Niger Delta. I wrote to the president then and said, look, why not we look for an alternative, the non-violence alternative. They called me a joker. It was funny to them. No one ever believed that non-violence would arrest the situation. But I didn't stop there. So what I did was to search out Dr. Bernard Lafayette Jr. I wrote him and I told him, first of all, would want to get my staff trained in the non-violence philosophy so that we could use the same program to train other Nigerians and other places that are violent prone. We were invited to the University of Rhode Island Center for Nonviolence and Peace Studies in Rhode Island, Kingston, Rhode Island. We went to the American Embassy, they denied us visas, all of us. But we didn't stop there. We called him, we said, look, it is not about coming to America. Is it possible for you to come to Nigeria and get us trained? We don't want to come to America because your embassy wouldn't give us visa. We tried on 3 occasions. We were all turned down. They thought we were going to come to America to seek asylum, like some others did. 2 months later, Dr. Lafayette wrote me and said, okay, I'm coming to Nigeria. You've been very, very insistent. We have to come to Nigeria. When I got that letter, we celebrated it because I knew it was going to mark the turning point in the annals of Nigerian history, because I believed in the efficacy of nonviolence action. I've studied, I've heard about Dr. King's, but I had not studied Dr. King's as at that time. I heard about Mahatma Gandhi, I had not studied Gandhi about that time. I knew about Lech Wałęsa of Poland and what he did with nonviolence in Poland, how he brought down communism in Poland using nonviolence action. History is replete with a lot of examples. So I believe that Dr. Lafayette would make the difference. So in 2005, December 3rd, Dr. Lafayette and his crew, including Captain Charles Alfin and others, landed in Nigeria, and there was a lot of celebration. And I remember what he said. He said, you know what? When he was addressing the press in Nigeria, he said, Nigeria will never be the same again. And Nigeria has never been the same again since then. He took the the vision of these people to transform the agitation of the Niger Delta people that was violent hitherto. We handled the first training in Lagos. The world heard about it. The oil companies, when they learned that Dr. Lafayette was in Nigeria, they contacted us, Shell and Chevron. They keyed into the program. They were the first people to send the militants from their host communities to us for training. They sent the first 10 militants. It was the transformation, the training and transformation of those 10 that gave rise to the peace we are enjoying in the Niger Delta region today. Because after their transformation, the oil companies decided to come together to finance the program. Militants were encouraged to attend the program. And I tell you what, for no one is born violent. Every violent person wants out of violence. Non-violence programs provide the route for them to liberate themselves from the clutches of violence, and as such, they all embrace it. Everybody, the suicide bomber, the murderer, the armed robber, they all want out of violence, but they don't know how to live it. But non-violence philosophy, if you bring it to bear on these people, the difference